If you have a solid website foundation, link building can be one of the quickest ways to growth. And in this video, we're going to show you all of it. So just a quick example of a backlink, I'm going to take you through a link book that I currently have. If we look at the live links, pretty good one from MarketWatch over here. So this embedded text here has a link, and that goes to the site. When I click the link, it shows the client that I built the link for. Just because I don't want to show you the client, I quickly exited it out, but you could tell here that that's a backlink. Now the process of this is relatively difficult just because it's very time consuming. When you're looking to grow your business, it's worth the time investment or resources you put into it. So to walk you through this spreadsheet here, my link book spreadsheet. By the way, if you share this video and like it, I'll give you these templates for free. So we have the date, obviously the date that you decide to build a link. The status, which there are about 6 different statuses. There's filled out a form. When you go to a website, sometimes there's a contact form that they make you fill out in order to contact them if there's no email address. If you've already pitched a topic to them, sometimes there's nice little areas where it shows an email address and all you have to do is click the email address and submit the topic you'd like. Pending publication, if you are in the process of speaking with the site or author or editor, it's just pending publication to go live. If you've contacted the site, so you've reached out and they haven't responded to you, if you need to follow up on it just because maybe they haven't gotten back to you in a couple days, and you want to see the process of your link. And the third is if it's live. Live is the money. We want all of our links to go live, but unfortunately sometimes that doesn't happen. The next is the website URL. So when you're going out and hunting for these backlinks, what websites can you pitch to? The next one is traffic. So how much traffic is the website getting? And we'll show you how to specifically measure that traffic in a little bit. Number of backlinks the site has. I do this majority of the time just because it measures, spam scores. If you have a very high backlink count but a very low traffic count, likely there's something funky going on. So we want to go in and look at that more thoroughly and more in depth. And the final one is search term. Search term you use to find the site. So if you go to a search query list here, it's essentially you typing in the niche. So for instance, I am doing finance sites today. I'm not going to look for sponsored posts. Instead, I'm going to look for guest contributors, or sites that allow guest contributors, excuse me. So I actually have this right here. We're just going to paste this in the parentheses and get started. So this isn't bad. The domain score is a 74. There are a lot of backlinks in a little site, and not little site traffic, but enough site traffic to be dangerous with over 1,000 people coming to the site monthly. So what we're going to do is find out the spam score of this real quick. What you can do to find the spam score is Google spam score checker, and I'll provide the URL in the description. But when you go to the spam score checker, you are going to paste the URL of the site you're searching for in there just to make sure that there's not a high spam score. I don't do anything over typically 15%. This is a spam score of 22, so that is a little high for us. Let's go ahead and find a different site. So again, go back, and this is a process. You see, not every site is going to be, the perfect one, but I will say that there are a lot of sites out there that are, more often than not you're going to want. I'd say maybe 8 times out of 10 you find a good site. Let's go ahead and go to Finance Columbia. This looks like it's going to be a pretty decent site. Start the process over again. Bump into Ubersuggest. So this is a good one. I already know this is going to be a good site just because the keywords are looking good and the backlinks are looking good as well. So let's go ahead and get started in the actual link building process. So we're going to go back to the link book spreadsheet, go all the way to the bottom, go ahead and start entering the information here. So as you can see, there's traffic and backlinks. Let's go ahead and go back to Ubersuggest. There are 9,400 backlinks and 1,500 site traffic. So go ahead and enter that into the cells in the link book. Pop that up. So you can see it's a very newsworthy site. There's a lot of finance stuff you could already see by this talking about market growth. We're going to go back to the link book. we're going to look for a contact information for this specific site. I have all the contact information blacked out for the current clients that I have, um, just to provide a little bit of privacy at least for some of these emails. So, but one thing we can fill out immediately is the search term that we used. And then we're going to scroll back up just to see if there's any costs, because sometimes links require costs. Publishing fees of someone publishing your article, they can be anywhere from $5 to a couple $1,000 depending on the site. But again, a majority of sites do not do this. So, but just sometimes there is. So what we're going to do is now we're going to do research. Let's find out who Jared Wade is, and let's find out exactly what he's doing with financecolumbia.com. So again, another Google search. I'm just going to type in Jared Wade and see what comes up. If it's a lot of BS information, we'll go through and sort of niche down on the tweets a little bit. This doesn't look like him, but let's just pop it up just to make sure. No, it's not. Looks like a country artist, so Jared Wade. Let's go ahead and add that one in, Columbia. So he does have a little bit of an authorship profile on the site. Looks like here's his LinkedIn. Let's pop that up. So here you can see all the pieces he's written or at least published. This gives us a little bit of leeway. So we're just going to want to notate that within the link building spreadsheet. View his LinkedIn profile. Check out, make sure it's him. Again, Finance Columbia, beautiful. Scroll all the way down. He got his bachelor's degree from St. John's University. It's just really good to know that as we start building relationships. He's been endorsed quite a few times, so this is actually a really good contact for us. So we're going to go back to the link book spreadsheet. I like to pull up notes just because it is much easier to sort of notate some of this stuff as you're going through the account. So you have, we're going to notate his authorship profile. On the website, and then we're going to notate his LinkedIn URL. Again, this is just because it makes it much easier to sort of build that relationship as we're going through. And some people on LinkedIn also like to share, their content and stuff that he contributes to. So we have some pretty good stuff on Jared Wade. So we're going to go ahead and go to over here. You can see I've sort of deleted a lot of the notes, again, just because it's sort of personal stuff and just to protect people's privacy. So we're going to enter that into here and fix that later. Move this down here. We still haven't contacted the site, and we'll do that shortly. But just want to get you the basis now of what this prospecting phase looks like. So I call this prospecting. Ideally, especially with the 2-hour workout. For this SEO sort of workouts that we're doing. If you do this for about 2 hours, you should have about 20 to 30 prospects in your list, and it makes it much easier if you just split up prospecting and actually trying to obtain links in 2 phases. So you can see that as phase 1. And there's actually really 3 phases of this. So now let's go ahead and move on to phase 2. So for phase 2, you really focus on building the relationship. And you know what? The number one mistake link builders make is just going straight to a pitch. Like, I've been on both sides. I've been ones who receive pitches, and I've been on sides where, I'm the one who's giving the pitch. And I've had some really shitty pitches come into me. People just going straight to the point. They straight up say, hey, I want to link on this blog and this blog. Thank you so much. Like, I'm going to go in, waste 10 minutes of my day and put the link on the site. That's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. I need some incentive. I need some incentive for my readers. There's no way I'm going to send one of my readers to your website if, you're not providing top-notch content. There's just not going to happen. And the other way is relationship building. The other mistake link builders make is they don't build relationships with these people. Do the research. As you can see on his LinkedIn, I'm doing the research. I'm putting in the research, seeing what he's done in his career. And another thing that this usually shows is if they've had any activity on LinkedIn. Doesn't seem like he's had too much activity on LinkedIn, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give him a follow on LinkedIn. and see what comes up. But what I do have is I have his authorship profile. So I'm going to click on one of his pieces, go to Twitter, see what comes up for Jared from his followers. Colombia, we already know he's from Colombia. You could see that he's active on Twitter. So again, we want to throw that back in the notes. So you can see that he's active on Twitter. One, I usually give him follows just because it's really good to see their work. Like and comment on stuff. Don't be creepy. Don't do it all at once. Do it, week over week. Respond to their tweets. Make them feel good, and provide that value to them. You're building the relationship. Usually, what I do is I don't connect all at once. I'll probably give them a follow on LinkedIn today, like I did. Then a week to 2 weeks later, I'll go through and give him a Twitter follow, and a couple days after that, I'll go in and start tweeting to him, and talking about his content, or at least sharing his blog articles. That's not something really creepy to do, just because it shows that you found him through Google search. And one thing that I like to do on my pitches is I like to share their articles on Twitter. We'll have to shorten up this link, but just to give you an example of something I would say, and then just post the article. Again, that needs to be shortened, but just around something that I would do. So now we're going to move on to phase 3, and this is you've done the work of building the relationship. If you go to the link book, always just notate in here when you've contacted them or exactly what you've said. Feel free to alter the spreadsheet. Usually I do another column for notes and just talk about what I've done the past week to sort of foster and nurture the relationship. Link building is all about relationships. If you don't go in and build the relationship, people aren't going to give you links. People aren't going to care about what you have to say. People aren't going to come to your site in general. So really work and focus on building that relationship. So the next thing we're going to move on to is phase 3. That's really crafting your pitch. Like, I use content sharing for my first pitch just because it's really good. I think that it is a very sort of robust style just because, you've liked their stuff on social media, you've built a relationship. Now you're actually telling them, and they've already had your name imprinted in their brain because you've commented them. Now you're seeing that. Now they're seeing your email come through. So they're like, man, this guy really follows me. He really likes the stuff that I'm doing. Let's see what he has to say. Opening up your email is one thing. Them getting past the first line is another. And if you get past the first line of your email, they're going to read it and they're going to respond to it with a good call to action, of course. So let's go ahead and get into this content sharing piece. I'm not expecting him to respond to my content here. All I'm doing is getting my name out there and getting my name into his email address. So again, this is a custom template that I use. I'll give you this template. Like I said, just like and share my content. Send me the link and I'll shoot these templates over to you. So if I was crafting this for our friend Jared over here, I would go up to my pitch. So I've copied this email template and put it into Gmail. That's exactly what I use. Put the recipient's name. Subject line is super important. That's actually a good one that Google automatically generated for me. Just because, again, you're your content out there. So, again, pitching it and pitching your topic is not done yet. Let's wait another week or a couple days and then pitch your topic. So now let's get into topic pitching. The pitch. If they don't have a contact form or a specific place to look for your pitches that you're giving them, that's okay. We expect this person's going to know you by now. We expect this person's going to know because you've shared their content, you've interacted with them, they know who you are, you know who they are. So now it's a pretty mutual relationship. So now we're going to work on pitching. So again, we're just going to say, hey, Jared, as I said before, your content's pretty awesome. Would you allow considering me to contribute to your blog? Here are links to the latest work, and provide, maybe 3 to 4 links on your favorite pieces that you've written. Sometimes they'll say, we're not open to guest contributing. But say, well, I really think, given the feedback I've received on social media, do you mind providing a link in your latest piece here? You have that relationship built. It works much more smoothly when you've done that. They're more susceptible to saying yes because you've already done them the favors of sharing their content. So you have your pitch. And really, if you do that over and over again, you're going to get links and your site's going to grow. I have seen sites grow tremendously just through simple link building tactics. And if you do those, your site will grow as well. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, if you can just like it and share this post, give a comment on it, and I will give you all the templates and the training strictly for free. Thank you. Have a great day.